My name is Michael Weinstein. I'm president of the AIDS Healthcare Foundation, and we are sponsors of this initiative. I'd also like to say that we have with us today four, I believe, of the proponents. We have Mark McGrath, we have Mickey Jackson, we have Arlette De La Cruz, and Jed, you are as well? Okay, great. So, before I get started, let me just say this. This has been, and we'll take comments and then we will open it up. I mean, we will have speakers and then we will open it up to questions. Just very briefly, let me say today that this is part of the march of history. This has been a long battle that we've been pursuing, and that we've reached an important landmark in that, which is that we have collected now more than 360,000 signatures to place this on the county ballot. We're holding this press conference today at the top of City Hall for two reasons. First of all, because the vast majority of pornography in the United States is made here in the city of Los Angeles, but also because of the leadership role that the city of Los Angeles has taken in addressing this issue. I want to say that in a lot of the coverage of this issue, there's been a lot of focus on AIDS. But in actuality, the primary issue here is not AIDS, but is sexual health in general, and in particular, the thousands of cases of STDs that take place in this industry. And these are not to be taken lightly. Herpes is a lifelong infection. Chlamydia can cause these young women who are in the industry to become infertile. HPV can cause cervical cancer. And of course, this is contributing to the spread of disease throughout the community. I want to say that as we start through this process, which entails the submission of the signatures to the County Registrar of Voters, then it involves a random check of signatures, and we must have 110% in order to go to the ballot without checking every signature, and we're confident we will have that. But I just want to ask really the county in the best of faith not to throw any unnecessary roadblocks in the way of qualifying for the ballot this November. The reason why we collected so many signatures is in order to make sure that it would get on the ballot this November when the most number of voters will be taking part in the process. In addition to 360,000 signatures at the county level, we also collected 70,000 for the initiative at the city level. So in total, more than 430,000 of the citizens of Southern California have signed a petition, and that shows a clear interest in seeing the situation around unsafe sex and pornography changed. So first and foremost, I'd like to introduce one of the sponsors of the city initiative to vote in the city council to enact it for the city of Los Angeles, and a longtime supporter of HF, Councilman Bill Rosenthal.
I just wanted to come up for a quick second and remember a few realities that I have lived with. Many of us in the gay community have lost our loved ones in the 80s and the 90s. I lost my partner, Christopher Liezl. We've been together 14 years. A day doesn't go by when I don't think of him. I've been fortunate that I've had another gentleman in my life the last 16 years. But when we became aware of how AIDS was transmitted, which we did not know in the 80s, many of us perished and we lost our loved ones. And it's about safety. It is truly about awareness of health issues. A condom protects both parties from any kind of a serious health issue. Obviously, AIDS is on the top of my mind, but there are other diseases that are transmitted. Now, the porn industry is so smart and clever. They can find a way to work around that in the context of people enjoying their moment, but at the same time protecting those people that are engaged in that for that issue. When you hear the industry say, oh, it's jobs or it's tons of money and this and that, it can be done. You just have to be creative and think about it. Just like the work themselves that they do has creative elements to it. It's about the safety of the people engaging in those sex acts. I will always remember what what we went through in the 80s and 90s, and Michael Weinstein was one of those incredible leaders that was out there supporting us day and night, and so that's why we here in the city have honored that. My colleague Paul Koretz and I move forward with it, and we hope that when it qualifies for the ballot, that the people look at it from a health and safety standpoint. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Dr. Paula Tavarro from UCLA School of Public Health.
Hi, everyone. I'm happy to be here because the UCLA School of Public Health, and in particular the Reproductive Health Interest Group, of which I'm the faculty advisor, we have representatives from them today, have been working very hard on this issue starting from around 2006, when we started to be aware that right in our own neighborhood, in our own back door, as it were, there were all these unsafe practices occurring. And we quickly recognized that this was a worker safety and health issue, and that these workers, in other words, the actors, thought that they were taking the kinds of precautions that would protect them, but in actuality, they were being open to getting diseases such as HIV, but also numerous STDs. So we felt that as a public health community, it was important for us to start to research the issue, and so we've launched some studies looking at some of these health risks, and we also thought that we needed to get more dialogue going, and we solicited the input of the producers, the actors themselves, and the community, and came to a realization that condom use on the set was the absolutely most important thing to achieve better health and safety, and also some of the other provisions of this measure, which are the licensing, which is also very important, so that film producers will have to go through the same kind of licensing that a tattoo parlor or a massage parlor goes through. So we really want to commend the AIDS Healthcare Foundation for this very historic day, and to raise this issue and to get the 360,000 signatures. That's really a fabulous accomplishment, and we hope that the voters will pass this initiative. Thank you.
So let me say that the issue of safety in this industry for the performers comes down to individual men and women. And the man I'm about to introduce is someone who contracted HIV in the making of adult films, and has been incredibly brave in telling his story in order to help protect other performers. I'd like to introduce Darren James.
Good morning. My stage name was Darren James. My real name is Darren Edwards. I started in the industry back in 1998, so I can validate. You guys can Google that, validate all this stuff. Because I go back to the old school where we were just oblivious to, the STDs and the outbreaks back then. I was a worker, put it like that. So I know what I'm talking about when I say what I'm saying. So please understand that. As far as the industry, we were constantly exposing ourselves 24/7 with these diseases and viruses like you would not believe. And me coming forth, right now, contracted HIV in 2004, I feel like I'm rejuvenated. At least you can use my story right now so we can have this stop. Use my story so we can stop this from happening in the industry, because this bill's got to pass. This bill's got to go through. If especially the media, like I said before in one of the interviews we did before, it takes for the media to use what we're saying, and look at the tragedies behind this, and just educate everybody else on the outside that don't know what's going on in the industry. Have more guys like me talk about the industry instead of talking about how much money they make in and how pretty it is. Because honestly, when you look at it on the long end, when we walk home, when we go home in the movie, when the lights cut off, you got nothing. It's over. And they're done with you when it's over. Right now, I'm actually living my dream. I'm helping people, telling them my story. I feel feel like I've already been reborn. You know, I'm always gonna be a fighter all my life, physical or mental, whatever. I'm always gonna be a fighter. If I could tell my story to help one guy out of a million, that's beautiful. I really don't care what anybody think, as far as feeling sorry and all that. I'm past that. I'm past that. It's just the point of just trying to help these young kids right now, these older people. You know, just understand the things behind that industry. They'll do the smoke screens up there and tell you all the pretty stuff about, you know, it can go underground. It's always been underground. You know what I mean? The industry has always been like that. And I don't want anybody out there to feel sorry for me, for one thing. That's what I want to make clear. It's just the point, use my story, let's educate these people, and just expose them for what they are. You know, the industry, you know, we really got to keep on top of it. I mean, the fight's just beginning. That's what I'm trying to say. Basically, the fight is just beginning. You know, and maybe you can use my story, get it out there more and more, and if I can talk more, just put a positive sense on it instead of being negative. You know, put a positive sense on it and just say, you know, at least my HIV outbreak could put an education on this and show it for what it is, man. Because it's going to happen again if we don't wake up. I just wanted to stop.